If you're an individual and you've got 2 or 3 different pension pots, you've got bits of savings here, there, or wherever, and actually your lifestyle choices, well, look, I don't want to, I've been working, 8 hours a day for the last 40 years. I don't want to go to nothing. I want to do something else. There is much more of a lifestyle kind of decision here, which the financial piece is clearly a critical piece, but it needs to be understood in the round. And the thing that always worries me is that even if they go for the open market option, it's a decision made almost in isolation of all the other things that they may have around it, which will drive.
Absolutely.
And I think
but that doesn't negate the importance of making the decision, the right decision, and making the most out of that decision.
The interesting thing, I think, is that we suggested that it was a red herring, the removal of the compulsory annuitisation. And as pension professionals sat around the table, were already defaulting back to annuity and the different vagaries of choosing the right annuity.
But annuity for many people is going to be the right option.
Absolutely.
It's a guaranteed income for the rest of their life.
But it is interesting that we all still see a big future, and certainly choosing the right annuity is actually moving above the removal to need to do so. I think what the removal does is actually add a layer of complexity to an individual's circumstances which they don't possibly need.
And individuals, may make other decisions. I mean, this goes back to the renewal of default retirement ages. An individual might, if they thought, well, actually, on the best annuity I can get, the income I can get per month is, £1,000 a month, and actually I don't think, I want to, I need to do better than that, then actually that might dictate to them, well, actually, do you know what, I'm going to carry on working for another 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So I suppose some of the concerns that I have is that the people are not given that education and okay, yeah, it's all about your retirement and how you're going to provide an income, but don't read as any way you're going to get an income is pension. It may be other things, and even when it is pension, it may not just be one pension, it may be multiple pensions. So it's how do you get that rounded conversation? So again, people are making some sort of informed choice about what they're doing, and they're doing it with their eyes open. They're not going, yeah, gone and got the annuity, and then 2 years down the road, when they're talking to their mate down the pub, going, oh, well, actually, if you'd waited till you were 5 years older, you would have got a better rate, and actually all they did was give up their job and go and get another job that would have paid them half the rate against inflation.
Again, going back to the point, if we make it easy for people to do the right things, they're more likely to do the right things. Martin's story about how when he was at the NHS, you were automatically included in the pension scheme. You had no choice in 1986.
Which was automatically indexed.
Before 1986, if your employer had a final salary scheme and if they were minded to do so, they could compel you to join. That's the golden generation of pensioners who are now retiring.
Yeah.
When the moment they took that away, it's gone downhill.
Because we're talking about a related point here, on actually related to DB here, is that, I know DWP and TPR are now starting to look at companies who are choosing to offer exchanges in return for a freeze on future pension increases at retirement. And do people really understand what they might be giving up in terms of a short-term cash incentive? I think the same is true of education for annuity advice, particularly in an economic situation where we don't know what's going to happen with inflation, and if it goes up.
I don't think we should be naive enough to assume that people don't sometimes understand their circumstances. There may be people where a flat annuity is absolutely the right thing. There may be people who buying an immediate annuity may be absolutely the right thing. There may be people who making no pension savings might be absolutely the right thing. So rather than having a system of automatic defaults that just says, well, this is the right way to do, you will do that, this is why I think good governance is important, because it can be much more sensitive to individual circumstances. We're here to try and do the right things for you, but if this isn't the right thing for you, well, you've got an alternative.
I can well believe there are a small proportion of people for whom a flat annuity is right. I don't believe it's 95%.
No, I don't think it is.
I think it's more likely to be 5%.
I agree. I think it could be a very small proportion of people, but if you shoehorn them into a system that fits 100%, then they're stuffed.